Hello and welcome to the EMBN show, and on this week's show we look at bolt-on motors. Are they worth it, and what are they like to ride?
We're bringing you all the news from around the world in e-biking, and we've got a special guest coming up on the show later, right Steve?
Yeah, I'll be letting the cat out of the bag later on in the show. I've had a lot of lively comments and feedback over the last 12 months when it comes to bolt-on aftermarket motors. And a couple of weeks ago we actually made a video specifically on these kits and their attributes and their strengths and weaknesses. A lot of feedback, as I say, on the channel, and this one here from Joe Connor, who agrees with the assertion that they're only really worth doing it if you have already got a mountain bike. If you're going out to buy an e-bike, says Joe, then just buy an e-bike. Buying a bike and separate kit doesn't actually make a lot of sense once you add it up.
And how about this comment here from Paul 1? I think it would be good to test viewers' bikes, demo them, show the components, show the power outputs and rides against other viewers' bikes. Try and relate more to the audience who want to try and build a setup.
Yes, well, Paul, that's exactly what we did. Last week I caught up with two characters, Gavin Wall and Will Everington, in the local woods and trails. And Gavin had actually bought himself a Vita Summit 160mm travel and bolted on a Bafang aftermarket kit, 750 watts. So I caught up with Gavin and Will to just discuss the strengths and weaknesses of these aftermarket kits. So this is how the day went. It looks to me like you bought a brand new Summit there, correct?
I did, yes, that's right. Yeah.
How much was that?
It was 2.2 in the sale.
Wow, right.
2,200.
And you bought the Bafang BBS 02 motor, which was?
That was £440.
440 plus the batteries.
Batteries about £80 each.
Right, so we're looking at like 600 quid?
Yes.
Plus less than $3,000 then.
Yes.
For a bike. Let's talk through it's a 750 watt motor on that, right?
That's right, yeah.
And I think it's 120 newton meters of torque.
Yep.
But as you mentioned, it's a very light system, right?
It is very light, yeah.
Yeah.
Depending what size batteries you put on it as well.
Yeah.
You can change the size of the batteries you want.
Yeah.
For what ride you're doing.
So it is actually quite flexible.
Very flexible.
However, you decided your mate made the move to the Focus. And you decided to go for that Da Vinci up there.
That's right, yeah.
What were your reasons for that?
The motor's a lot more intelligent. It goes with you with your pedalling, whereas the Bafang is just on or off.
Yeah. With the Shimano system, when you get to a tight corner, when you back off, it backs off. Does the same happen with that bike?
It's not immediate.
Right.
Yeah. There's a second where it keeps going.
Right, and you don't want to keep going?
You don't want to keep going, no. No, you don't want to keep going.
So what would you say are the trickiest things when it comes to setting up and maintaining aftermarket mid-drive kit?
Where you place the batteries, how you waterproof them, the wiring, basically.
Do you say that you've got to be a little bit skilled to own a bike like that?
Just a little bit of knowledge.
So Gavin bought the Vitus with the battery. Why didn't you go for the bolt-on motor kit like he did?
Probably mainly due to time.
Right.
Gav put a lot of time and effort into building that, and fair play to him for doing it.
It's pretty neat, isn't it?
It is very neat, yeah. He sort of wanted the reliability and the simplicity of just buying a bike.
Hold on a minute. So did you see some unreliability with the system?
A little bit.
What were you doing there?
When I put the battery in,
Yeah.
battery's got to go up far enough so that when that depresses down, this bit doesn't catch the edge of the battery.
Why is that?
Because if you pierce the battery,
Yeah.
it will vent and then catch fire.
Ah, that's not so good, right?
Not great, no. It's not great. So there is downsides.
Gav, didn't actually seem as simple as just getting on your Da Vinci and switching it on and going, right?
Not quite as simple now. It's one of the reasons why I bought a proper e-bike.
Wow, really interesting video there, Steve. So this guy's invested in a brand new bike, a brand new motor, stuck it all together, then realised the errors of his ways and gone out and brought a proper off-the-shelf e-bike, right?
Well, I wouldn't say error of his ways because it's actually quite a good system.
Yeah.
However, I think he's realised that it is quite crude in relation to off-the-shelf e-bikes, especially since his mate Will went out and bought a Focus Sam Squared for actually quite good price. But yeah, 750 watt motor, there's a lot of power there, but he knows his way around those battery packs, and he can add different cells to give himself better range and stuff like that. But I think he learned a lot, let's say.
So you actually rode this bike then?
I did, I did ride the bike, and lots of really positive impressions of it. First of all, the Bafang motor was so quiet.
Really?
It was really
quieter
smooth.
than the Bros?
It was probably one of the quietest motors I've ridden, The second thing was it's actually quite a light setup. I mean, obviously you can put whatever amount of battery he wants to on that bike.
Right,
I rode it with two small battery packs. And the power, 750 watt motor. There's a lot of punch in it. However, there's not really that much control on it. Remember, this motor is not torque censored. So basically, it's got a little bit of a mind of its own. And when you've got technical climbs, there's a little bit of overrun on it. But for me, what did it for me was the fact that that motor does drop down underneath the bottom bracket. I was terrified.
Really?
I was thinking, if that motor catches a stump or a rock,
straight over the handlebars,
it's game over.
It's
And you know what? It's going to break the motor. It's going to break the bike, and it's probably going to break you as well. So unless they can find a way to put that motor upwards somewhere. But then again, Bafang do make mid-drive kits which aren't bolt on, and they do a really good job. But
I think checking out the video, the thing that mostly concerned me was the mounting of the batteries. Obviously you've got that option to stick them in your backpack if you want to ride with a backpack with batteries in, but the guy had them mounted on the frame, literally millimetres away from that shock movement. I'd be so scared riding that bike down here with all the vibration that those batteries are going to move or land a jump. Next thing you go, you've got your battery exploded.
I think you need to know what you're doing, and Gav, he didn't, like I say, he does know his way around those batteries and battery management systems. But I've actually got a friend who's got a similar setup, and he's actually got a caravan where he charges all his batteries up, and it's called like the bomb shelter or something.
I can imagine that's what you're going to need.
But yeah, I think my feeling at the end of the day is nice to see someone who's done a good job of putting a bolt-on kit onto the bike.
Time in as well.
Got some and it's good to see that actually, do you know what, the bikes we ride are pretty refined, and they're good solid jobs.
Definitely, What's the biggest plus from that bike then? You think the Bafang motor, biggest plus for you?
I think. I was going to say affordability. If you've got a mountain bike and you want to, maybe kind of try out the e-bike route, it's a really, it's quite a cost-effective way of doing that. However, when you look at Gav and Will, they actually got their bikes. I think Will got his bike for 3,300, like last year's model.
Good price,
and Gav got his bike for I think £3,500.
Gut feeling on the.
Gut feeling, not for me. I'd like to try a torque censored Bafang motor, but for me, it's a bit too crude.
So I'm super excited. The guys from Grape have been in touch with us. They're the electronic supercar manufacturers, and they've been doing some amazing e-bikes, right?
Yeah, well, they've got the G12 already, which is a 12 kilowatt motor with 120 kilometer range. However, there's a G6 mountain bike coming out with a 700 watt hour battery. Now, as you say, I'm really excited about this as well, because they're coming at it from a different angle. Not a mountain bike manufacturer. So I think it's going to be a really interesting development. This from Croatia.
I think they've already added some cool features: docking stations, cameras to record your ride. That's just a couple of things I noted.
But I think the key thing is, like, visually, you look at some of the silhouettes of the bikes in this video, and it looks a super nice, neat bike. So, cannot wait.
Coming in from a different angle.
Yeah. Now, earlier in the year, there was a lot of chat, particularly in the south of France, Italy area, about World Enduro e-bike series. Well, Wes is one of those series, and they've just been officially announced as a UCI competition for 2019. Now, it kicks off on the 12th to 14th of April this year in the Monaco region, and already there's been a lot of teams signed up for this, such as the High Bike Schwalbe team, Lapierre team, Peugeot team, the Wheeler Yamaha team, and of course the Bergstrom, wait for it, Workmanschaft
Whoa.
team.
Some big names going out there. Looks like a hell of an event.
Talking about big names, now Marco Fontana, who's a former Olympic cross-country racer, seems to have shown quite a bit of interest in this, Chris.
Yeah, definitely. The Focus riders going out to it. You know, he made the cross-country looking really cool, so excited to see what he's going to add to the mix.
Yeah,
sure.
definitely one of the most stylish mountain bikers on the planet, Marco Fontana. Obviously comes from this Italian fascination with e-bikes at the moment. You know, definitely a hot spot for e-bikes on the world scene. Chris, time to dive into the wild and woolly side of e-bikes. And this is not actually an e-mountain bike, it's more of a road bike. But I thought it was quite interesting, actually.
Yeah.
So it's from a guy called Janos Katona.
Whoa.
And look at this, what do you think?
Looks like something built out of a Meccano set, but look at that suspension action.
It does. That looks smooth, right?
Does look
I can see
super
that
smooth.
working down through a load of roots and rocks.
Yeah, definitely.
However, on the subject of Meccano, I also came across this Sturka, which is based in Los Angeles, and it's the product of father and son Rick and JJ Wang, who are actually professional remote control car operators, and they've
nice.
got this bike, which is 125 mile range, it's 350 watts, comes in at $3,250.
Yeah.
It comes in as a bike. However, you can actually get a kit as well.
Wow, that sounds really cool.
For
Making your own, yeah.
Yeah, £2,850.
You build your frame, or is it just bits and pieces?
Like I said, it's like a Meccano set.
Right.
It takes you 3 hours to build it.
Wow.
3 hours to build this
3
bike.
hours. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
And 4 hours to charge the battery as well.
Yeah.
It's a commuting bike. I mean, their quote is, Sturka M1 is a tinker's dream, allowing you to build your versatile e-bike to handle long-distance commutes, arduous uphill climbs, or commuter riding in under 3 hours. Now,
amazing.
it's not mountain biking,
Yeah.
but I just thought it was quite interesting.
Looks like a Tamiya model kit. I'd be well into that. Look at that.
Tamiya?
Yeah. Big news on social this week is that I've seen Tom Cardy's been hooked up by High Bike alongside Sam Pilgrim here in the UK. Tom is an amazing street rider, really young. He's been riding alongside Pilgrim in all of his videos, and I've seen him on and off e-bikes.
Did you actually say earlier that he's one of the best street riders
Yeah,
in this country?
Yeah, so he's amazing, you know, doing all tail whips and bar spins. He's like,
That's king-size talk, that is,
could
Chris.
probably smash any BMXer out on the streets on a mountain bike. So,
Really?
yeah, he's really good, technically gifted rider.
Tell me about it. Where's he come from? Where is he?
He used to ride on the Animal Sports Tour alongside Martin, doing all the
Right.
tricks and stuff, so he got his background from there. Obviously, living close to Pilgrim, he's been roped into loads of Sam's videos, and I imagine...
Roped in.
Yeah, he's like, the e-bike thing has definitely worn off on him, and he's seen the light, and
Right.
he's transferred across to e-bike. We've had lots of comments from last week's video on bolt-on motors. We got this one in from Alex Salakan. Why don't most e-bikers use e-downhill bike? You'd think the only downside of a downhill bike is pedaling, so with motor assist, it's a win-win.
Yeah, well, the only downside of a downhill bike is the downhill bit.
Exactly. You've got the geometry is going to be all wrong for riding on the trail.
Yeah.
Gearing.
Yeah, I mean, look all the geometry, facts and figures. You got the head angle, which is slack, bottom bracket, which is pretty low.
Yeah.
A lot of time you've got chainstay, which is quite short to kind of get the bike kind of gets into those corners quicker.
Yeah.
C-tube angle, which is maybe leaning back, depends, it varies from bike to
Probably
bike. But
no dropper, and they're designed primarily to be ridden out the saddle as well.
they're
So.
designed to be ridden out the saddle at speed downhill. So when you go onto flatter terrain, and if you've got an e-bike, you'll probably be doing quite a lot of flatter riding as well. They're just a little bit dull when it comes to that type of riding. So Alex Billing, on the subject on bolt-on motors, personally don't see the point in these given the price of them compared to the cost of e-mountain bikes now. I just bought a brand new Canzel Moterra LT2, which has a RP of 4499, and he got it for £2,500. That's nearly £2,000 saving from Rutland Cycling.
Yeah.
So the people who keep saying e-mountain bikes are so expensive need to look again. £2,500 would really only buy you a middle of the road full suspension mountain bike.
Definitely, yeah. I think there's definitely some good bargains to be had out there, especially end of year sales. My brother recently brought an end of season Focus for the same money as well. Got the external tech back on there. He's got an amazing e-bike.
So for £2,000 to £3,000, you're getting great mountain bikes, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And Benji Robert, or is it Benny Robert? Just a second-hand proper e-bike if you're lacking the money. Yeah, lots of comments there on these bolt-on kits. And do you know what? I just had this motor in.
Yep.
This is Fazua. Look at that. Look how neat that is. It's
crazy, isn't it?
That is like, that can fit, that's like 60 newton meters.
Right.
250 watts.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Obviously it's less range than say a, one with like 500 watt hour battery and stuff like that. But you can actually get, a few different battery packs in that and get a great range in it. And it's time for Where in the World. I tell you what, where in the world are Neil and Blake on GMBN?
Some big holiday somewhere, I heard.
They're on a massive South American adventure, which has taken in Patagonia and Chile. And last weekend, Blake did the Valparaiso downhill race in what was quite challenging conditions by the looks of it.
Crazy, yeah.
He looked very nervous. But you know what, Chris? I'm thinking probably in the next couple of years, there's definitely going to be an e-bike category at the Valparaiso downhill.
Yeah,
it makes total sense, right?
Yeah. Super scary, those events. I've done a couple of the urban downhills in my time.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've done the Taxco Mexico race. I've done that twice, and those events are so scary. They look pretty scary on POV footage, but when you're racing for those streets, anything can happen. Did you see the amount of smashed up bikes and people from that event?
I can imagine. Anyhow, away from the pros, what have we got?
Yeah, we're in. We've got Daniel sent us in Araldillen. Come on, Steve.
Oh, darling.
Hello, darling.
Yeah. I can't see. I can't read that from here. It's in Sweden.
Araldillen.
It's in Sweden.
He's out on his Scott E Genius 920.
Yeah.
Weekend in the Swedish mountains with good friends and a lot of cycling.
Incredible.
Never managed it without the e-bikes, and look at that for a setting.
That's pretty out there, right?
It's amazing, yeah. Wonder if he stayed in that lodge.
Yeah, do you know what? I think that's where e-bike strengths are.
Definitely, yeah.
Those big adventures.
Yeah.
Not being confined to those small bike park locations. I mean, they're good fun, but that
especially when it gets snowy as well.
To me, that
through.
is what it's all about.
We've got a really exciting week here on EMBN. What we got, Steve?
Well, coming up on Sunday, have you ever wondered how an Olympic cross-country racer would deal with an e-bike? Coming up on the channel on Sunday. Chris Smith versus Grant Ferguson. Don't miss it.
For that, on Friday, we've got a really cool video coming up, how to ride your trails faster for free, eking that extra miles per hour out of every inch of the trail. Now, a really good way of supporting the channel here at EMBN is to hit the EMBN shop. We've got loads of cool merchandise in there, t-shirts, hats, hoodies, puffer jackets. What else, Steve?
Just get shopping. Simple
Loads
as
of
that.
kit in there. Good deals, so check it out.
Help us bring you more videos on EMBN. Guys, loving the photographs you're sending in every week for the Bike Vault, and keep telling your mates about the EMBN YouTube channel. And also send some videos in. This week, some great ones.
Let's kick things off then. Stephen here was Canyon Spectral On, Women's 6.0.
Carron Valley.
Yeah, Carron Valley.
Scotland, right?
Yeah, holiday away to Scotland, exploring the bikes with my husband.
Lovely. Can't beat a bit of sharing on the trails. Like in the pink.
What are you thinking?
Nice.
Okay.
Whoa! Where is that?
Gran Canaria.
That's not Gran Canaria.
Apparently it is. This is Steve on his high bike Enduro 8. Never wanted an e-bike until I brought an e-bike for Gran Canaria. Touring around.
No. We've got to go there.
It looks amazing, doesn't it?
We've got... Are you sure that's Gran Canaria, Steve?
Looks like it.
See the right photograph there?
Brought high bike Enduro 8 on his return to Blighty, and he's been hitting the trails ever since.
It's meant to be Bike Vault. He's supposed to be sending pictures of your bikes in, but for me... That is it's super nice location. I'm not sure about the bike. There's no bikes there. You can't see what bikes are in there.
No, so just nice. So yeah, Paul, Giant Trans SX Pro. That's a Welsh name, Steve.
Oh, come on, Nantir Arian. It's easy.
First ride on my new Giant. It's my third e-bike, and I love it.
Whoa! In that case, that is. What do you reckon, Puss? It's got to be a super nice, right?
This one in from Peter, Vitus E Sentia, Dartmoor, Western Beacon, Iverbridge. Had a quick blast up to the Western Beacon to play in the snow. Well,
to be honest, Chris, you seem to be dishing out the super nices for all the snow scenes. I think...
It's been a lot of snow here.
Everyone's going to be out this week.
Everyone's going to be out there playing on their e-bikes.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
Your call.
Nice.
Another snow shot! Who did this deliberately?
Yeah, Ian, High Bike Extra 7.0, Aberdeen, Curhill Forest. Been waiting patiently for the snow to arrive, now having a blast. Now it's here. You got to call this one. It's a nice shot.
It's nice. The horizon's going through the top tube. Oh. Come on, let's go. Oh my... Look at that! Look at the cat. Cat wakes up.
Chris, Specialised Canevo, Rosebery topping North Yorkshire.
Rosebery topping in North Yorkshire. Oh my goodness me, that is a super nice,
super
right?
nice, yeah.
Super nice.
Cool. This one in from Simon, High Bike 9.0 X Dura All Mountain, St Paul de Fenouillet.
It's basically a crash barrier.
Just on my
It's
way
nice.
out.
It's nice. It's nice. Crash barrier. Let's go. Oh, look at that. Look at
That'll be nice. Russ with his Focus Jam 2.
that. Cambridgeshire.
Yeah, exploring the frozen trails of Cambridgeshire with Jess, my trail dog, absolutely loves e-bikes.
What about the mudguard?
You're not into that rear mudguard, are you? I've actually been using one of them behind the scenes.
I think that's super nice, that, to be
Yeah,
honest.
it's got to be
Chris.
super nice. With
Yeah.
a dog,
Yeah.
give it a super nice.
Oh boy, look at that.
Alan's Specialised Levo Turbo 2019.
That is the Welsh Matterhorn, I think you will find.
Beggled Forest.
It's called Knicht in Beddgelert.
E-bikes are awesome, allowing for greater exploration around my favourite tracks in Wales.
That's all. I can see the cat teetering on that image.
What are you thinking? Nice.
Cat's teetering. Nice,
Nice.
nice. Oh, look at that.
Whoa. Dan, Bulls
Death
Eastern.
Valley, Borax, Grand Canyon, Death Valley. I mean, Chris,
Getting out of the snow in Tahoe.
one problem with that shot is that you've got your shadow in the photograph over the bike, so that could have so easily been a super nice. But I think that is another place we need to go to.
That looks amazing, doesn't it? We've got some homemade bikes here. Barry, BBSHD in the Scott Voltage
Yeah.
FR10.
Just near where is that, Chris?
Mount Cusco.
Cuscuzgo.
Rode the 9K up from Charlotte's Pass to Rawson's Pass with a mate on his Canevo comp. Blown a gale, but it's off the bucket list now, so ticking those bucket lists off.
Yeah, love
Liking
it.
that.
Loving the bike vault this week.
Yeah,
Is
give
that
that one
it?
a nice.
Oh, another one.
Yeah, last one
Fantic.
here from Steve. Yeah, Steve Fantic XF Integra 160.
Painswick Beacon. This is going to be Steve Workman.
Yeah,
Steve.
20 mile ride out.
Steve, go on then. Go on then. It's
Super
a
nice.
super nice.
So there you go, we're at the bike vault. We love seeing your bikes here on EMBN. Don't forget to send all your bikes in. The upload service is how you get the bikes featured on the bike vault.
In the meantime, if you want to see some video, check out the video, download video, Dan Lloyd of GCN versus 10 times world downhill champion Nico Voulios.
And don't forget to check out the bolt-on motors explained as well. Really cool video that Steve's done recently. A lot of good comments about that. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you've enjoyed the show.
Subscribe in the globe.
And drop us some comments in the box below.
See you next week.
See you next week.